Coral Noel Yang is a painter based in Auckland, originally from Taiwan. Coral specialises in expressive, figurative, and abstract paintings with oil and acrylic. She joins me in the studio today to talk about her work. Hi, Coral. How are you?
Hi, Lizzie. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, you originally were a filmmaker in Hollywood. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've had anyone come in here that said, well, I used to be a filmmaker in Hollywood, but now I live in New Zealand as a painter. Tell us about that transition from filmmaking to now as a full-time painter, as an artist.
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate. I was in Hollywood and 10 years. I did a documentary. I went to refugee camps. I did, nature conservation stuff in Switzerland. I did a feature animation film, children's programming. But then in 2018, I lost my brother in a kayaking accident. I was really heartbroken. I finished a contract on a feature film, and I just felt like I need time to really figure out God, because when things like that happen, you have so many questions. And God just led me. And he's, I was asking, what should I do? He said, do the things that you really love to do. And for me, it was painting. And so, New Zealand, how beautiful it is. You go out, you hike. And then so I got my watercolor, sketchbook, and start paint. And then COVID happened. And I was locked down, and it was perfect.
Yeah, good timing for you.
I just decided I'm going to paint full time. And I start selling my work, and people love it. And somehow I just become a full-time painter.
That is so incredible.
Yes, I never thought that it was so unexpected, but I think everything I did in my film career, the visual language and the storytelling ability and interest in people, in nature, everything just come together, and I feel God is leading me on this path.
Yeah.
It is art is a gift He gave me. He reached out to me through art when I was a little girl, through, this Gustav Dorr illustrated Bible.
Okay.
The big, huge ones. My dad brought back from America. And I was a little girl. I was just looking at these beautiful lithographs and the Bible stories. I was drawn into this world. And that's how God opened my heart toward Him. And so now I'm doing art. And I feel like creativity, beauty, wonder is God's gift to us. And how we use this creativity is our gift back to Him.
Through this illustrated Bible, you felt joined to that world. Now, I kind of feel that that's how we're all meant to be, don't you think?
Yeah.
And that perhaps as children, a lot of us have those experiences. As a creative myself, I certainly had that. But as we go through life and we go through difficult things and just growing up, it's like we can lose that connection, don't you think?
Yes, and that's why God says that, you need to return to be like a child again. So for me, like a painting is actually a playground for me. It's not something so serious, like, I pray and I want to do something for God. It's more like God is giving me this playground, allowing me to have the freedom to just try, experiment, and not to be afraid to fail, because some people look at a bigger canvas, they are just like scared to touch it, like they will ruin the white canvas. But God is saying, who cares? Just have fun. I would rather to see you create, to do something than not to do anything at all.
Yeah, so, God is the ultimate creator, is He not?
Yes.
And we are made in His image. And if we're not creating, we're actually selling ourselves short, and we're selling God short too, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. There's this saying that God's glory is man fully alive.
Amen.
And so I feel having this gift to paint is where I come alive fully. And that's where my passion is. Like I cannot wait every day to paint. I don't want to go to bed. I just want to paint, And people think I'm just like a really crazy, isolated in my studio, whether it's lockdown or not lockdown. But because that's the place I meet God, and I'm transformed myself. I become much more patient person, because you have to wait for the paint to dry, and then you have to see, oh, this is not working. And then you just say, but God accept you. You don't have to do perfect art. You can just allow yourself the freedom and to mess up, and on a painting, right?
Yeah.
And that's so much about God I learned, not from thinking, intellectualize faith, but just from doing, and then in this process of creating, I integrate all my knowledge, into a real faith.
Mm-hmm. What are you working on at the moment?
Right now, I'm working on this collection called Spread Your Wings. So, we've been gone through this COVID thing. We've been in restriction. I just feel instead of thinking that it's a terrible time, it's actually we are like the caterpillar being put inside the chrysalis. But now it's time. We are going to become that butterfly we really are. It's time to spread our wings and rise and shine with what we've learned from this process, like getting more in touch with ourselves, with God, with our family, with what we really love. Because I come from this cultural background, so conditioned, perform, and people pleasing, or do all the external things, like I think God will be really happy.
Yeah.
But actually,
performance.
He actually wants us just to be ourselves, and then to be in touch with who we are, and then let that life of Him flow out of us, because that's Christ in us. Christ in us, hope of the glory, right? And now we need to be in touch with who we really are, what we like. Like when I'm painting, I think about what color I like, what do I want to paint. And God asks me every day, what do you want to paint? He doesn't say, oh, you need to paint this and this. It's the other way.
It's like what makes your heart sing.
Yeah.
And that comes through in your artwork. It's absolutely beautiful. Hey, so great to talk with you today. I love what you're doing. I love the journey that you're on. I love the expressive nature of your art, and I can just see God's hand in your artwork, and I can just see how it is a blessing to so many people. If people want to follow your art, buy some of your art, find out more about you, where do we go?
My website, noelyangyangart.com. That's spelled as NoelYangart. And you can sign up for my newsletter because I have art shows and workshops, and you can get that first-hand information. Also, my social media, Coral Noel Yang Art.
Awesome. Yeah, I've just started following you on Instagram, actually. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for coming in today. And I know we've got one of your prints to give away too. Stay tuned and I'll let you know about that. Thank you so much today, Coral.
Thank you so much, Lizzie.